I really need somebody to explain to me the whole thought process on how somebody can believe that ghosting is actually an okay thing to do. Are you really that big of a coward that you can't just be honest with someone and tell them what you want and what you don't want? It's easier for you to what? Leave them hanging, leave them wondering, leave them completely disrespected? I honestly just don't get it. I get that it's hard to, disappoint somebody or, maybe you're afraid of hurting them, but you're hurting them more by disregarding them. I just will never understand this concept. I really will never get it.
And this is just more proof that women cannot get enough of these guys. They cannot get enough of these guys who ghost them, who treat them poorly, who don't comply with all their demands, who rebel against all of their wishes. They cannot get enough of these guys. And this is what I'm trying to bang into your heads, especially if you're new to my channel. Okay, especially if you're new to my channel, you'll learn very quickly what women say versus what women do are always going to be two very different things. So women like this are always going to talk about how they just want a nice guy, they just want a guy who will treat them right, just want a guy who won't ghost them or flake on them, who will text them back, but yet look at what she responds to. Because this chick, like every other woman who's just like her, right? You know that she already has, right, hundreds of these guys in her life. We call them nice guys, right? That she's friend zoned. That would happily give her exactly what she's looking for. Happily text her back anytime she texts them. Happily do whatever she asks. But what does she do? She ignores all of them, right? I mean, the hundreds, even thousands that are in her friend zone. She ignores all of them to focus on this one bad boy. This one guy who ghosts her. This one guy who won't return any of her texts. This one guy who won't do a single thing she asks of him. That's why I tell you guys, if you want a chick to stay around, if you want her to become attracted to you, if you want her to become physically and emotionally attracted to you, mentally attracted to you, you always do the exact opposite of what she says she's looking for. Okay, all the things she complains about that her last boyfriend did, or all of those chads she dated in the past did, all of those things she complained about, make a mental list of them and just do those things if you want to attract her. I'm not telling you to be immoral or anything like that. I mean, basically, just adopt the same mindset of the Chad, of the bad boy, which is not to make your world about her, but make it about you. Okay? Don't prioritize her like so many of the simps in her life do. Instead, prioritize yourself. And that will keep the chick chasing you for a lifetime. I guarantee it. Because she will never, ever get that magic V from you. Validation, we call it, right? I've said this before as a professional pickup artist. Women will chase validation to no end. To no end. They will complain about the fact that you won't give them what they want the entire time. Basically, you're not validating them. They'll complain the entire time, but as long as you don't give it to them, they'll keep chasing you for it. Right? It's sad to see, too. And I'm not saying all women on the planet are going to do this. Right? I'm just saying mostly damaged women, low-hanging fruit, Chad chasers. These are the type of women who can't get enough of guys treating them like crap. I think they even have a saying in Australia that goes, treat 'em mean, keeps 'em keen. Ever hear that? Treat 'em mean, keeps 'em keen. You know, and there's a reason they have sayings like that. There's a reason for it. It's because females like this respond to that behavior. They respond to that behavior. And no surprise. I mean, clearly, the reason why she's being ghosted is because she is a Chad chaser. Right? She's going for guys who are well above her as far as physical attractiveness goes. Usually these guys are 3, 4, even 5 points above the girl on the look scale. Right? And then they run into this dilemma, which seems to be becoming an epidemic these days. They run into this dilemma where they get frustrated that they can't lock this guy down. He doesn't want anything to do with her beyond the bedroom. Right? If she's not willing to come over at midnight and leave right after sex, he really doesn't want anything else to do with her. These chicks are pissed off because he will not ignore his own level of physical attractiveness and just give himself to her. Like, she basically wants this guy to be a sucker and ignore his own value and commit himself to her. And the rub is, once you do that, the chick will lose all respect for you. Once she loses respect for you, she loses attraction for you. That's how it works with these chicks who are damaged, guys. That's the reason I call them the DG. There's a reason we call them the DG on this channel. It is because they're damaged. They're psychologically damaged. Okay, and this chick looks like she's still pretty young, right? She's still in probably her mid to late 20s. And unfortunately, this is just going to play out for the rest of her life. Unless she wakes up. But you know what? I really have never seen any of these girls wake up. It's almost like they're cursed, right? They're cursed to just live out this life where they're constantly chasing this Chad that they can't get. And meanwhile, all of the guys that are sitting in their friend zone that actually want to treat them like a lady, that actually want to be chivalrous, that actually want to commit themselves to her, those guys are invisible. Okay? Those guys are invisible. No attraction for them. She doesn't care about them. And I mean, it's almost like karma. It's like because she pisses on all those guys, the guys that she dates pisses on her. You know, and like I said, this is why we call them damage. Because women who are at least rational to some degree are going to recognize this type of self-destructive behavior in themselves, and they're not going to participate. They're not going to be going out there and banging the bad boys. Okay, they're not going to let the bad boy just come up inside of her. No protection. Get me pregnant. No, because they're looking for a good guy. Women who are at least rational are realistic. Okay, because when you're able to be rational, guess what? Just by default, you're able to be realistic with your level of physical attractiveness. You're able to be realistic about the type of guy that you can land that will stick around and won't do you dirty, won't ghost you, won't flake on you, will text you back at night. You're able to be realistic. And no surprise, a lot of these women end up getting married. Okay, they end up getting married and they live happily ever after for the most part, right? No marriage and no relationship is ever perfect. It never will be. But you have enough compassion for each other, you have enough maturity and self-discipline to work things out and keep your relationship together. That is something that damaged women can't do, guys. They can't function in a healthy relationship, right? And a lot of these chicks who are DG have been run amok by, you know, the Chads of the world, the Tyrones, the Pookies, where now they've got a lot of sexual partners who've been between their legs, over 10, and statistically, as I've taught you guys in the past, now she has a 33% more likelihood that her relationships are going to fail once she enters double digits. Okay? Once she's had more than 10 sexual partners, her ability to pair bond with you is 33% more likely to fail. I can't help but laugh anytime I see just chicks like this get on their social media and rant about the fact that, you know, oh, you guys ghosting me? How dare you? How dare you ghost me? How dare you not text me back? How dare you just use me and abuse me? It's like, well, what about all those nice guys in your friend zone that you're doing the same thing to, that actually want to do you right, that want to be good to you, that want to, you know, be good men? Are you not doing the same thing to them? When they text you, do you text them back right away? Do you give them any respect? No. Right? No. The reason why you don't is because those guys are invisible, because you are damaged, right? That's what damaged women do. They go for these men who are not going to be good for them, who aren't going to treat them right. They They ignore all of the nice guys, and they just continue to stay single. Right? That's all. That's how that happens. Okay, this is why I tell you guys, all these former hotties, sometimes you're like, what about this chick? Oh my gosh, she's still beautiful. She's 38 years old. I just met her. Or, oh, this chick is 48. She's still single. Did I hit the jackpot? I'm like, no, dude, you didn't hit the jackpot. There's a reason why that chick is still out there, still on the market, still on the shelf, still out there on the streets. There's a reason for that, because good women get snatched up. I've said that over and over and over. Women who are good, if they're the least bit cute, they get snatched up. They ain't going to be out there, right? They get snatched up like that. So you have to ask yourself, why is this chick, who you could tell she was probably an 8, a 9, or a 10 back in the day, why is she still alone? How come no man put a ring on her finger? Why? Spend a few minutes talking to her and you'll find out real quick, right? It's usually the girl has dead giveaways with her ego. Usually these chicks who are still single, past their prime, they develop these tremendous egos. They have a lot of like emotional baggage they're still carrying around. They might talk smack about guys they dated in the past, like play victim, like none of this was my fault. I was just out there. All these bad men took advantage of me. And usually the chick too, by that time, if she's been alone that long for 3-4 decades and never been able to hang on to a man, she becomes more and more masculine. So you'll notice this masculinity about her, even if she has an attractive face, there's like a masculinity about her now. Whereas if you talk to a woman who's married, who's her exact same age, I guarantee you'll see a big fat difference immediately. Talking to a married woman who's, say, 48 years old versus a single woman who's 48 years old. Okay? Around that 48-year-old married woman, you'll be surprised how pleasant she is, how nurturing she can be, how generous she is. She doesn't have that ego that so many single women her own age have. Right? She's a lot more giving. She's a lot more friendly. She's a lot more courteous. She doesn't drop F-bombs every sentence. Right? She's not vulgar. She doesn't use profanity, every time she opens her mouth. Whereas a single woman, she does. Right? She does. So, big difference. Big difference. Also, married women almost never have that underlying hostility towards men. Almost like that the subtext, like they hate men. But single women, especially into their 40s, you could feel it. You could feel it. There's this distrust of men. There's this underlying anger towards men. Bitterness. So, as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Share any experiences you've had below as well. Share them with the tribe. Personally, I try to read as many of your comments as I possibly can. So, drop those comments below. So until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out. Go ahead and smash that like button below. Also, guys, make sure you hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube channel. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton. It tells YouTube that you are loving my videos, you're digging it. You want me to come out here to Vegas even more and shoot more coaching videos for you that can help you, educate you, and take you to the next level in life. Take you into a whole new dimension that the mainstream parents, teachers, society never ever taught you about, never even told you about, because they themselves weren't aware of it, right? So please make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students are out there cold approaching and closing every single week. I kid you not, every single week, no matter what chaos is going on in the world, no matter what nonsense is going on out there, we are still making things happen. That is the absolute best way to support my work, by jumping into 7 Months of Mastery. And right now, the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. It's only $1. And all you need to do to get signed up is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. The
just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.